The Mercy tribe is a tribe that seems unique to itself, and it depicts a people of Nilotic stock in the Horn of Africa in Ethiopia. These people are very unique in a general sense, meaning that they have their own complete customs. One thing that throws people off completely is using specific ornaments which they put in between their lip and the cut between their lip, and they stretch their lip out, creating what is known as a lip plate. Now, you can find this in Asia, you can find this in Native Americans, but in Africa, this is the tribe that most people associate with this lip plating thing. Now, to demonstrate that this lip plate unique to East Northeast Africa thing is not free from any other place in Africa. In fact, it's actually done by a specific tribe, females again, females mostly do it, and it happens to be in Southeast Africa. Now, these guys are Nilotic, but the people I'm about to mention are not Nilotic. The people that I'm about to mention who do the exact same thing, but probably more extreme, which is probably why they stopped doing it, actually live in Mozambique. And they have a much bigger story to tell in history because, of course, they had wars and they communicated with the British and traded with the not the British, the Portuguese, and all these other people. So, who are the people that I'm talking about? Well, it's actually two different tribes in Mozambique that practice this. The first group is a group called Manganja, which the Manganja themselves are known for being the same, really, as all the other Bantu tribes, but instead you find that females play a larger role, just like the Nyango, which was mentioned previously. You'll find this a lot in Mozambique, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Tanzania, that females will play a large role. But as you can see, they're wearing lip plates, and this is from David Livingston, who got a first-hand account. But first, before we mention the lip plates, first a minor description of who they are. The Manganja are an industrious race, and in addition to working in iron, cotton, and basket making, they cultivate the soil extensively. All the people of the village turn out to labor in the fields. It is no uncommon thing to see men, women, and children hard at work, with the baby lying close by beneath the shady bush. When a new piece of woodland is to be cleared, they proceed exactly as farmers do in America. The trees are cut down with their little axes of soft native iron. Trunks and branches are piled up and burnt, and ashes spread on the soil. The corn is planted among the standing stumps which are left to rot. Now, with that description, I want you to take in mind that even though the people look like this, they are in no way a savage race. And you'll notice that their lip plate, there's two of them. Usually they have one on the upper part and one on the lower part, and it's usually worn by women, but in some cases it's worn by men. And believe it or not, they say they wear it to beautify their woman. So there you go. And of course, women in Africa generally represent mythology, spirituality, and stuff like that, from Egypt all the way down south. And so let's just take a reading about it. But the wealthier of ivory or tin, the tin pelele, which is the lip plate, is often made in the form of a small dish. The ivory one is not unlike a napkin ring. No woman ever appears in public without the pelele, except in times of mourning for the dead. It is frighteningly ugly to see the upper lip projecting 2 inches beyond the tip of the nose. When an old wearer of a hollow bamboo ring smiles by the action of the muscles of the cheeks, The ring and lip outside it are dragged back and thrown above the eyebrows. The nose is seen through the middle of the ring, and the exposed teeth show how carefully they have been chipped to look like those of a cat or crocodile. The pelele of an old lady, Chikandakatse, a chieftainess about 20 miles north of Morambala, hung down below her chin, with a coarse which with of course a piece of upper lip around its border. The libel letters cannot be properly pronounced, but the under lip has to do its best for them against the upper teeth and gum. Tell them it makes them ugly. They had better throw it away. They reply, Koti, really? It is a fashion. How this hideous fashion originated is an enigma. Can thick lips ever have been thought beautiful, and this mode of artificial enlargement resorted to in consequence? The constant twiddling of the pelele with the tongue by the younger woman suggested the irreverent idea that it might have been invented to give safe employment to that little member. Why do the women wear these things? We inquired of an old chief, Chinsunse. Evidently surprised at such a stupid question, he replied, For beauty, to be sure. Men have beards and whiskers, women have none. And what kind of creature would a woman be without whiskers and without the pelele? She would have a mouth like a man and no beard. Afterwards, on the Rovuma, we found men wearing the pelele as well as women. Now, Rovuma, different people. An idea suggested itself on seeing the effect of the slight but constant pressure exerted on the upper gum and front teeth, of which our medical brethren will judge the value. In many cases, the upper front teeth, instead of the natural curve outwards which the row presents. I feel like we fully explored that one. But the second group is the Makonde. The Makonde is another tribe in Mozambique and Tanzania, and they too practice this lip thing. And just like the others, they're industrious, made cotton, salt, all these things that you could have found anywhere back in the day. And this is pretty cool because it tells you that it's not some kind of fluke. You can't just say it happened in one tribe in Africa and then it happened again. It's just an accident. It shows you that the history of Africa, though some things will be forgotten in others, will be remembered in others. So just like the Mercy people in Ethiopia, the Nilotic, these people have remembered this very same tradition. And of course, the scars on their faces are everywhere in Africa. This is a very humble, small one from Africa, which doesn't look that bad to me. And so, yeah, this is from the Makonde people, and you can see that they take the zigzagging of the lines on their face way more extreme than they take these lip plates. But again, like I said, this is a very modest version, a very small version of the lip plate. It gets worse, like this one. Like I said with that other one, they use two. So here, this person, woman, has one in her upper lip and one in her lower lip, and so it kind of gives her this beak look, which I don't get it personally, but to each their own. The also the stretching of the ears, very typical. Why leave the ears out if you're gonna do this? And yeah, basically that's what happened within the tribes. So this is another connection between East Africa, Southern, and North Africa, Northern. By the way, this isn't the only two tribes that did this in the past. There were tribes in Southern Africa that did this. All of this was cancelled due to Europeans coming in and saying, yeah, that looks like abuse to us. and so they canceled it. They actually also canceled circumcision, male circumcision, and so men stopped getting circumcised in certain tribes.